take a look at this now. Public Interest South Africa has labeled the presence of a top SAPS official at the EFF Gala Dinner as shameful.
It's a man called Adriano Mazzotti, and more said, I'll ask them to stand up, because these are the two and part of their partners who have given us money on the day we were launching the EFF.
The EFF held a gala event at Emperor's Palace in Johannesburg on Thursday, July 27, 2023, as a prelude to the upcoming anniversary festivity at FNB Stadium on Saturday, July 29, 2023. Notable attendees at the Gala Dinner included prominent figures such as Bantu Holomisa, the president of the United Democratic Movement, and Advocate Tembeka Ngcukaitobi. Controversial personalities like Siyabonga Gama, the former CEO of Transnet, Adriano Mazzotti, a tobacco magnate, and Major General Feroz Khan were also in attendance. Adriano Mazzotti and Major General Feroz Khan, who will be further discussed in relation to their invitations, were particularly noteworthy guests. Firstly, we address the identity of Major General Feroz Khan, a senior law enforcement officer who was in attendance at the EFF Gala Dinner. The question arises regarding the source of his financial means to acquire a ticket worth 1.2 million, granting him proximity to Julius Malema at the event's table. Additionally, there is a curiosity surrounding the entity or individual responsible for covering the cost of his ticket. A significant concern relates to his allegedly illegitimate appointment, coupled with allegations of misusing SAPS funds amounting to 1.4 million rands for the purchase of luxury vehicles. These matters are further compounded by various other scandals surrounding his tenure. Major General Feroz Khan, often referred to as General Khan, assumed the role of Head of Operational Intelligence Support through an unorthodox appointment process. General Mutiba, during his tenure as Acting National Commissioner, irregularly appointed Khan to this position. The appointment was conducted under the provisions of Regulations 45(9) within the South African Police Service Employment Regulations. This regulation grants the National Commissioner the authority to elevate an employee to a higher position without the requirement of advertising the position or whether adhering to the standard selection procedure. This process is permissible if the National Commissioner is entirely convinced that the employee is fully qualified for the position in all aspects. General Khan's elevation to the rank of Major General, up from the position of Colonel, transpired subsequent to his emergence from the agent program he was associated with. However, this promotion was conducted unlawfully as it involved bypassing the intermediate rank of Brigadier. A brigadier signifies a high-ranking officer who occupies a mid-level managerial role within the organization's hierarchy. This rank falls above that of a colonel and falls below that of a major general. During this period, Mr. Fikile Mbalula, who served as the Minister of Police, took action, corresponded with General Mutiba, the acting National Commissioner at the time, issuing a directive to reverse General Khan's appointment. This intervention was deemed necessary as the appointment was deemed to be in violations of the stipulation laid out in the Police Employment Regulation. On August 4, 2017, Major General Mukushane, who was fulfilling the role of Acting Head of Crime Intelligence, submitted an application to the Acting National Commissioner, General Mutiba. This application sought approval for the promotion of Colonel Khan to the position of Major General, thereby entrusting him with the responsibilities of leading operational intelligence support. Upon receiving the application, Acting National Commissioner General Mutiba took note of the request and directed that the application should be forwarded to the SAPS Divisional Commissioner of Personnel Management, Lieutenant General Nsia. The purpose of this step was to obtain recommendations from Lieutenant General Nsia based on the motivation provided by General Mukushane. A corresponding information note prepared by Lieutenant General Nsia was addressed to the Acting National Commissioner. This note endorsed the promotion of Khan and was signed by General Mutiba on the same day as the motivation from General Mukushane, namely August 4, 2017. It's important to note that Lieutenant General Nsia himself is facing allegations of a scandal, as he is suspected of being an undocumented foreign national who secured his appointment without meeting the required qualifications. Colonel Khan's appointment to the position of Major General raises concerns due to its contradictions with SAPS National Instruction 41A. This is because Khan's lack of experience at the brigadier level renders his appointment inappropriate. Notably, Colonel Khan transitioned from his role as an agent, transferring to counter and security intelligence on September 10, 2015. This move was orchestrated by the then acting divisional commissioner, Dr. Bongiwe Zulu. It's significant to point out that Khan's tenure as a colonel was merely a year and a half, insufficient even for eligibility for the rank of brigadier. According to Section 4.2a of SAPS Instruction Note 7 2017, an employee such as Colonel Khan should possess a minimum of 3 years of suitable managerial experience to be considered for the position of brigadier. Yet, in Khan's case, he bypassed the brigadier rank entirely and was directly appointed as Major General. The entire process from initiation by Major General Mukushani to the issuance of appointment letter by General Mutiba remarkably occurred on the very same day. Subsequently, shortly after Major General Mukushani was replaced as the acting divisional commissioner of crime intelligence by Khan, Generals Mutiba and Zimu oversaw the acquisitions of 2 high-end vehicles from Maponya Mall VW in Soweto. These vehicles were purchased for General Khan and Colonel Simelani. Major General Hlunganani, who held the role of section head of financial and administration services in the secret services account, declined to endorse the funds applications for the vehicles. These newly procured vehicles amounted to a combined cost of exceeding 1.4 million. Instead of delivering these vehicles to the crime intelligence offices for proper processing and allocations, they were instead taken to a residential address located in Soweto. Consequently, General Khan and Colonel Simelani each gained possession of 2 high-end luxury vehicles, all of which were funded by the state. In his role as the head of operational intelligence support, General Khan was responsible, among other duties, for overseeing the agent program. During the period between January and February 2017, crime intelligence acquired vehicles designated for the agent program. These vehicles were intended for the use by the agents. However, Brigadier Mohammed Ghulam, who was serving as the acting section head of supply chain management at the time, deviated from the established norms. Instead of storing the vehicles as required, Ghulam handed all these vehicles to General Khan. When questioned by Hlungwanani, who held the position of section head of financial and administration services in the secret services account, Ghulam explained that General Khan had requested these vehicles. Subsequently, it was discovered that General Khan had been utilizing these vehicles for his personal purposes. Surprisingly, General Khan allocated 4 of these vehicles to himself, all of which were high-powered and held substantial value. Hlungwanani promptly informed the then head of crime intelligence, General Jacobs, about Khan's misuse of state resources. Unfortunately, General Jacobs took no action in response. Instead, General Jacobs took 5 cars for his personal use. It's noteworthy that General Jacobs had assumed the position of head of crime intelligence despite facing allegations related to a rape case and obstructing justice. The situation presents an ironic contrast. Julius Malema publicly addresses the issue of corrupt generals within the SAPS, while privately associating with these very individuals. The tickets for the EFF Gala Dinner had a wide price range, starting from 250,000 Rand for bronze and going up to 1.2 million for the platinum tier. Given his SAPS salary, it would be impossible for Khan to afford such a significant amount. According to a Facebook investigative journalist by the name of Buzz Kruger, she reported that Adriano Mazzotti covered the cost of Khan's ticket, resulting in Khan being seated at Mazzotti's high profitable table. This comes after News 24 reported that Khan shared a table with the self-confessed tobacco smuggler Adriano Mazzotti. Khan said that he had attended the dinner for work. News 24 confirmed that his ticket was bought by Mazzotti's business partner and Khan's close friend Mohammed Saeed. Adriano Mazzotti, the self-admitted tax evader and owner of Khani Leaks, a tobacco company involved in cigarette smuggling, has been financially entwined with the EFF. Mazzotti contributed 200,000 toward the EFF's 600,000 IEC registration fee for the inaugural elections participation. Furthermore, he paid 1 million rands to SARS, which was used to settle Julius Malema's tax evasion case.
It's a man called Adriano Mazzotti, and more said, I'll ask them to stand up, because these are the two and part of their partners who have given us money on the day we were launching the EFF.
This raises questions about why the head of crime intelligence, Major General Khan, maintains a close association with Adriano Mazzotti, a figure involved in cigarette smuggling. The fact that Khan attended an exclusive political event alongside Mazzotti adds to the intrigue. Public Interest South Africa has strongly criticized the participation of the deputy head of SAPS Crime Intelligence at the extravagant EFF Gala Dinner, deeming it as both a disgraceful and disrespectful gesture toward the South African populace who are dealing with these prevalent criminal issues. The organization expressed deep concern regarding the conspicuous public alliance between Major General Feroz Khan and the EFF, coupled with the apparent endorsement and celebration of this connection by the political party. PISA highlighted that there are certain leaders within the EFF are linked to the VBS Bank scandal and other alleged illicit activities, which further complicates the matter. PISA's sentiment implies that such associations are incompatible with the fight against corruption and crime, reflecting negatively on the values that should be held by those entrusted by maintaining law and order.
Thanks for having me. Look, the issue here is not whether a law has been broken or not. It is merely the optics as well as ethical leadership. What we see from Major General Khan doesn't inspire confidence to see senior police officials fraternizing with members of society, some of whom are in the crosshairs of the criminal justice system, and some have publicly admitted to being fraudsters as well as being involved in cigarette smuggling into these borders of South Africa. That said, it just does not sit well to see a higher-ranking police official such as Major General Khan, nonchalantly just seeing nothing wrong with being invited and not knowing or not perceiving that it could raise questions of conflict of interest, because there's a reasonable apprehension that there is conflict in his presence or his relationship with the EFF and those accused of other crimes.
In a complex series of events, the controversy surrounding Major General Feroz Khan's promotion within the SAPS raises troubling questions about the system's honesty and the people involved. The problems with how he was appointed and his subsequent behavior make us doubt whether the institution followed proper rules and ethical standards. It's interesting to note the difference between Julius Malema's strong opinions against the high corrupt ranking officials in SAPS and his connections with individuals like General Khan and Adriano Mazzotti, both of whom are caught up in questionable situations. This adds an ironic twist to the story. Public Interest South Africa criticizing General Khan's presence at the EFF Gala Dinner makes us think about the wider effects of these connections on society. It highlights how the concerns of the public who are dealing with crime seems to be ignored. This makes us wonder if influential people in law enforcement are aligned with groups involved in alleged wrongdoing. The mix of political ties, alleged misconduct, and potential misuse of power underlines the need for transparency, responsibility, and principled leadership within the South African law enforcement. As the public looks for assurance and trust in those responsible for keeping the nation secure, these events remind us of how crucial it is to maintain justice and honesty at all levels of society.